So there, I've just done a little bit more work on the head. You know, mainly just refining the overall shape, tweaking it a little bit, adding a bit more detail to the eyelids. You know, just basically going around and tweaking it and adjusting the shapes to get to a stage where I'm happy. And obviously I've added a bit of depth to the eyes as well. So now let's start thinking about blocking in the rest of the elements that we need. So we need the scarf, we need the body, we also need the snake, and there's also the stitches which form across his face. So for the scarf and the body, they're pretty straightforward. We're just going to use a cylinder. So let's just delete those caps, scale this up. Let's just see how big. Let's say roughly about that size. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some edges in here using the connect components. I'm just going to extract those faces. So now we've split this into two, so we can get if we move this up, we've got the scarf and the body, and they've both got the same topology, so they should match up. Well, let's just shorten this area here because we don't want the scarf to be that sort of wide. Even these out. I'm just gonna, let's just turn on symmetry, that's it. Adjust these just so they fit underneath the head. Again, we're just doing this very roughly, and actually I should press 3 to turn on smooth mesh, just because that will change the shape of the mesh slightly, so I need a better idea of where the scarf is going. So something like that will do. And again, this may be a little bit too high, so let's just move that up. Or what I could do is just select both, press F8, and then I can select the elements from the components from both models. And again, we want some sort of shoulder here, so let's just select the vertices at the edge there. Press B to turn on soft selection. Let's just move that up. And that will just give us that sort of shape as if it's hanging over a shoulder. Let's just tweak these. I'm dragging to select, so I select both vertices, because remember this is still two models that we're editing. So something like that. Press B to turn off soft selection. I'm going to use connect components, and then I'm going to bevel the edge. Make that a little bit wider. Now again, with the symmetrical modelling, if I select all those faces there and scale, it's scaling from the centre there, but for this instance I want to scale it all around the centre of the model rather than the centre of the symmetrical point. So I'm going to turn off symmetrical modelling. I'm just going to scale that. Just move this edge up a little bit. We're just giving the scarf a bit of thickness just to fatten it up a little bit, make it look like it's bunched up. We're not going to go in and start building in any sort of big large creases, because at the end of the day we're going to sculpt those in. And again, if you really wanted to, you could go in and vary each side so that they're different, but again, we could do all that in ZBrush, so I'm not too concerned. So let's just go down to the body. And we want this to be wider at the top, sort of slimmer at the bottom, because the snake's going to be tight around him, gripping him. Maybe just adjust these this way as well, just to slim him out. Now what we also need to do with the body is, we've got these large polygons here, and it's also the same with this geometry here on the scarf. We do need to go in and add in another subdivision there. The same with the body. Let's just try inserting that with edge flow just to see what that looks like. A bit better. Now we want these a little bit more evenly spaced, because when we go to start sculpting and we subdivide them, you know, we want a nice even subdivision, whereas this will subdivide, we'll still end up with larger geometry. So when you're sculpting on these, you can do smaller details, but on this one the details will become larger unless you increase your division level overall. Now they don't need to be perfectly square, but it is an idea to get them a little bit more uniform in shape. So we could just use a slide edge tool just to slide these up. Maybe add another division in there. Slide this up. You know, you get the general idea. So that's the head, the eyes, the body, the scarf. Now we do need some geometry flapping off here, but that's just basic quads. It's a basic cube just reshaped, so I'm not going to waste time just showing you how to do that. So actually I'm just going to pause the video again, skip ahead, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to refine the body and the scarf, add in these flowing bits which come off the scarf, and I may also just quickly go through and add in the stitches. So I will see you in a sec.